Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Arsenal All Out show. And for once, we actually are speaking about a win. First Premier League win in April, I believe, under this manager, which feels refreshing. But at what cost? Because, Arsenal still remain to be an eyesore, as they have been all season. But regardless, 4 games left and, you know, a 4 game shootout, it's looking like. So, yeah, once again, I don't know what happened to AT there. It's just gone pitch black again. But yeah, we are joined, of course, by Karl, Darkside, and AT. Josh will be with us shortly, as well as Dom. Of course, I think Josh is on a show at the moment, and Dom's just coming back from football, where he may have a heart attack during the stream, considering he scored for the social dads or something like that. I don't know the full inside and outs of it, but yeah. Apart from Arsenal, I would say, how are you boys doing? Good?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. All good from my side of things. Yeah, I haven't done much content over the weekend, spending a little time with family and so on. And there wasn't much to really talk about apart from a couple of incidents of the Arsenal game, which always seems to be the case nowadays. Watched a decent game of football from La Liga yesterday, which was absolutely phenomenal. And that's the standard of football nowadays. It is in the Premier League. It's pretty gross, frankly. But no, we're here to do this all over again. And as you said, 1 down, 4 to go.
How about you, Darkside, bro? You good?
Yeah, man, I'll be honest with you, in my personal life, things are trending upwards for me, man. Obviously, I'm settling into my new job and stuff like that, and yeah, things are going good. Just came, obviously, I've been off the content for a while. Just came back from Ischia in Napoli. So yeah, just enjoying life. Can't complain, man. I'm alive, and things are alright.
Yeah, make sure, if you haven't already, channels are in the description. Make sure you are dropping a sub to Karl, as well as, Darkside as well. Man does look a little bit like Raheem Sterling, but still, drop him a sub if you haven't already.
You're taking no piss. You're taking
You have to catch some strays at some point, You're not the only one, trust me.
Listen.
But we have Josh as bloody Brahim Diaz. We got Dom, who looks a bit like Bruce Banner. Who else? We got Posh Bertie looking like Odegaard. And
that's insulting. That's insulting. That's insulting. Damn.
But
if I'm Sterling, listen, look, watch.
Oh no, he's not. No, he's not going to do it.
You're going to see the best of me.
Oh my days.
Raheem Sterling to join Arsenal. Here we go.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, let's talk about the game at the weekend. I don't know where AT's gone actually. He must have crashed due to Wi-Fi. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll go to Karl first. About the Newcastle game. We won the game through individual brilliance, but performance-wise, again, I don't know what to say, really. I mean, the only way we are going to win this league, for me, is if City drop points, because there's not a chance that we're beating these lot on goal difference. But what you make of the game overall, bro?
The more things change, the more they stay the same. We got the win. Beautiful bit of excellence there by Eze. But overall, the game was rough. The game was rough. The game was very boring. The lineup didn't infuse me very confidence when you got Havertz up top and Odegaard playing under 10. It just doesn't. Overall, the game was incredibly poor. We didn't average that many shots throughout the game. Newcastle were poor, and I know they've been in a really bad run of form as of late, but they look like they've checked out of the season already. They still had chances to score against us. They didn't. The The man of the match for me in that game was Pierre Hincapié. Hincapié was absolutely phenomenal in that game.
It was.
That's how good defensively he can be. I'm still, and I watched at the end of that game when it was 1-0, the full-time whistle went. Every single Arsenal player dropped to their knees or dropped onto their arse. Not because the fact they're relieved that they now got the win, but they're relieved because thank fuck I didn't keep on doing any more running. They look absolutely tired. They look absolutely gassed right now. And we still got 4 more games in the Premier League to go and 2, maybe potentially 3 left in the Champions League. So the Charles was hanging on. And a lot of people turn around and saying, we've got to start slapping these teams, 3, 4, 5-0 so we can get the goal difference up. At what point have we scored more than... When was the last time we scored more than...
Leeds away. There you go.
Leeds away. That was 5-0. When was the last time we won? Well, 4-1. Well, 4-1's Tottenham. 4-1 was Tottenham. That was the last time we actually...
It was 4-0. It was 4-0. Leeds was 4-0. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the last time we actually obliterated them. I just don't see how we're going to score. This whole setup of building up from the back and then passing it sideways, playing our own half of the field, we're not going to score goals like this. This is why Man City, when they turn it on, they can turn it on. Now, okay, they only beat Burnley 1-0 last Wednesday, which is a bit of a shock. But, they'll have more games to go and so on. And overall, this game was pretty... There are 2 instances which I will bring up, and it probably will come up. The first one is obviously... there was a breakaway on the attack. Yoko's on the left-hand side. He's beaten his defender. Odegaard has got the ball. Anyone who plays in the number 10, even someone like Bruno Fernandes, would have seen Gyökeres and would smartly put that ball through to him. And if he has a shot and the keeper saves it, or it cannons off the woodwork, or it goes in one of the 3, look, good. Well done. You assisted the goal. Well done. I'll praise you more for that. What does Odegaard go and do? He passes it backwards to Zubimendi. That is the incompetence of our captain. That is the incompetence of having a number 10. That is someone who doesn't trust Gyökeres. I'm sorry, mate, you are the captain. You're supposed to trust everyone. Yeah. And it's not the first time either. Yeah, Odegaard gets a pass for that. Havertz gets a pass for being so shit, right? And people say, he's great header in the ball. He's great holding up the play. Sweet. Whoop-de-doo. Let him fucking be a defensive midfielder then. Let him play, if you play this is why if you play Havertz in a 4-4-2 and let him be the hold-up guy and Gyökeres run off, then that might work. But then as soon as Gyökeres makes a mistake or another breakaway goes on, he tries to put a pass over across the box to Saka, and it deflects off the first man, and everyone lost their shit over it. Whoop-de-doo. Gyökeres is not an assist merchant. He is not an assist merchant. And here's a bit everyone forgets as well. This season alone, Gyökeres has scored 18 goals, no assists. Yep. What does that tell you? He's not someone that's good at heading the ball. He's not good at freaking holding up the ball. What he was primarily brought on to do was to be the fox in the box, was to put the ball in the back of the net. He is in baseball what you would call a closer. You finish off you finish it off. And people are just not reading that. Havertz scored 20 goals last season in all competitions. Gyökeres has scored 18. And he's still got 4 games to go plus 2 in the Champions League and maybe even the final to go. So let's not freaking throw the baby out the bathwater regarding a Victor Gyökeres, okay? He is definitely a clean striker. You give a manager like a Luis Enrique, a Diego Simeone, and Inzaghi, anyone of that caliber, Gyökeres, and you play to the strengths of him, he scores 30 goals a season. He scores 30 goals a season. No question. Because the style of play would suit him better. And people were saying, he's not been a good sign for us. Go and watch what he does for Sweden. There was a compilation that came out earlier on today of his time in Sweden and how he scores and that. The positions he gets in and the trust that his players has in him to get in them positions is night and day compared to what Odegaard does. Eze is the only one really that will actually trust Gyökeres. And now Odegaard's back, Eze's over to the left. Now, okay, Eze to the left has actually done very well so far. I still prefer him in the 10 because he knows how to put that line-breaking pass through. But at some point, but it's just knee jerk. It's just a knee jerk reaction. People want to say Havertz is better than Gyökeres. Okay, well, if that's the case, then fucking and Adolf Hitler was less intimidating than Stalin. Then, if that's what you're going to do.
Oh.
So.
Oh my days. Yeah, like I agree regarding the Gyökeres stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. The fact he misplaced the pass towards the end, I'm not excusing him for that whatsoever. But are we just forgetting that Havertz did the same thing last week?
Yeah.
Against Bournemouth. Literally did exactly the same thing. We had a counter-attack. It's a 10-yard pass, and he just gives the ball straight to the opposition. So it's like, well, the guy can't finish because he's not a striker for me. He can't play midfield. What is he?
I'll tell you what he is. He's 65 million worth of waste, mate. That's what he is. And if he sees that...
You know, he doesn't have to be an assist merchant to place the pass right. Yeah, I get it. But at the same time, the fact he's being scapegoated, like when you compare, I would say, other players, for instance, like Odegaard, who didn't pass the ball to him in a position where he thrives off. I'm not saying, again, I'm not excusing the fact he shouldn't have passed it to Saka and all of that. But this is the point. Like, it's not just him. We're acting like he's linking up with man like Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Pedri, etc. Let's be honest, right? He's playing with, I would say, a Saka who is 50% fit. You've got Martinelli who's dusted, Trossard who's getting on, fucking Odegaard, Havertz, Gabriel Jesus who's washed. Do you know what I'm saying? And this guy scored 18 goals in this terrorist system. This is what I'm saying. I'm not here for no Gyökeres. I'm not here for no bloody Eze slander either, because I'm hearing, oh yeah, flop of the season, etc. Don't want him in the team anymore, do we? But this guy has scored and assisted in important games, and Gyökeres is our top scorer, but they have to hold the most smoke over players like Odegaard, Havertz, Madueke, etc. All these players. I'm just sick and tired of it, to be honest with you. But yeah, Dark, what we say, bro, about the game of the weekend?
I'll be honest with you, I can only give you like a partial review because I fell asleep for most of the second half because honestly, we are so dross to watch. But like I said in my preview, if we're gonna win, it's gonna be because of the EDL, the Eze Defense League, mate. I'm sorry, but that piece of individual brilliance for him to smash that first time in the top corner, that's what I'm talking about. If Odegaard gets that, what does he do? He does that stupid thing where he does that with his shoulder and goes like that and just passes like that. Honestly, it pees me off so much, yeah. So the fact that we've actually got a proper number 10 that can shoot from distance, has individual brilliance, is a bit of a maverick, and he's been pushed out of position to accommodate an Odegaard that doesn't offer anything potential. It's just really annoying. Secondly, what was the thing I was going to say? And Karl, you mentioned it as well.
Apologies, I lagged out.
Yeah,
I lagged out.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear anything you said, by the way, Dark Side. I do apologise.
No worries.
Wi-Fi.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we did live.
Yeah, it's still live. It was just my Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, and then as Karl, you kind of touched on it as well. If you look at the first half, especially, you look how much progressive passing Eze is doing quickly into the final third. Some of the passes were a bit wayward, but for me, I don't care. You're trying to make something happen. You're trying to get the strikers involved. You're trying to turn the wingers into inside forward by creating more central chances, and that's what got me off on the end of my seat. When Eze came off, I was just like, well, we're going to sit back. It's either going to be 1-0 or 1-1, and we're either going to get 3 points or the title's over. And obviously, we got the 3 points. But do you know what? There's a couple of comments in the chat that I want to address as well. 52 million Great British pounds. for Whoopi Goldberg, band okay. Yeah? If you know, you know. Noddy Madueke playing for our club in 2026 is an absolute, it's just lunacy. How can somebody who was Chelsea's fourth choice winger be starting for Arsenal in a almost title deciding game, right? In a title running game or a cup final, quote unquote, right? When we have Ethan Nwaneri, as I call him, Black Wilshere, yeah? How the hell is he on loan in France, bro? How the hell is he on loan in France when we had a perfectly good winger that could have played these games? And also, my other favorite player, the 16-year-old Super Saiyan, what does Max Dowman have to do to get some freaking minutes around this joint? What does he have to do? Max Dowman has shown more quality, composure, and individual brilliance and flair in that Everton game than I've seen Madueke in his whole entire Arsenal career. Yeah. So when you look at the attacking identity, when you look at the attacking decisions of this manager, it's just like, how do I get excited about watching these Arsenal games, bro? How do I have any optimism about us clinching the title? Because let's be honest, even if we do win all of our games, City will probably still win it on goal difference. It'll probably be another Aguero moment. Instead of Aguero, it'll probably be Haaland. Could you imagine? So I say all that to say this before I hand over, yeah. I'm at the point where, and I will say this as well, Hincapié probably was man of the match. He probably was man of the match. He was great. But for me, I have to give it to my Eze because, you know, I love Eze and, you know. But for me, that midfield is well, I want to say that about midfield. He finally put MLS in midfield, but if you notice the way that MLS was deployed, he was, even as a 6, he was too deep. He was sometimes becoming a third centre back while Hincapié was going forward. Yeah. I really didn't like that because he would never ask Rice, Zubimendi, or when he was playing at the club, Thomas Partey, to do that. I wanted to see MLS play the 22-23 Thomas Partey progressive football style. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see him get forward a little bit, and as soon as he gets in the ball, spin, dribble, and push that ball forward and get it into the number 10. But no, he's playing this weird, like, left centre back, entry level 6. It was just really weird. And I think I was watching a couple of streams of people saying, well, Lewis Skelly got his chance and he didn't take it. I think that's a bit facetious, man. I think it's really facetious to Lewis Skelly off that 20-minute performance in midfield when he was asked to play in the 6, but in a different type of 6. Not for me. But yeah, that's me done.
Yeah, well, what about you, AT? And also, what do you make of the Gyökeres slander as well? Because I know for a fact, right, I remember one stream where you were very vocal about the fact we should have bought Sesko instead of Gyökeres. Like, I just want your thoughts at this moment in time, because Gyökeres went from, you know, a nice purple patch from, I'd say, January onwards. Now he's, I mean, at the moment he's being benched, isn't he, for Kai Havertz? He'd done that towards the end. Where are you in terms of Gyökeres at the moment? Of course, you know, give us your full summary of the game as well, bro.
Okay, so good to be back. Thanks for having me again. Apologies for not being in the last 2 shows. Regarding the Gyökeres issue, it still feels like a square peg in a round hole. Arsenal has not adapted enough to Gyökeres, and Gyökeres has not adapted enough to Arsenal, but he's doing his best. It's very evident that these lads don't trust him enough, because for the life of me, I don't understand why Odegaard would be at the edge of the box, have Gyökeres in front of him, and he'll give the ball to Zubimendi. That was BS. I was talking to my guys that if that was Kai Havertz, you'd have passed that ball forward. So it seems like they don't trust him enough. But we all know that in the club right now, he's our best finisher. If Gyökeres has a one-on-one chance, I can bet at least something significant that he will finish it up. The problem we still have is that sometimes his positioning is very suspect. His link-off play is horrible. Like, when he was at Sporting, they played to his strengths. Pass into space, allow him run, and he smashes the goals. The same thing, as Karl mentioned, happens in Sweden. If you remember the game against Ukraine, when they were hustling to go to the World Cup, that he scored a hat-trick, he bagged a hat-trick. You could see one of the goals they scored to him. As soon as they got the ball, they just played into space. He ran at defender, did his thing and scored. In the Premier League, you don't have that luxury, right? But you're meant to have teammates who can play to your strengths. As Karl rightly mentioned, if Gyökeres was playing as a fox in the box, where everyone basically works for him, like what Brentford does for Igor Thiago, Gyökeres have been on like 25 to 30 goals right now. But Arteta or Tyrane prefers him to basically play like Gabriel Jesus when he's not Gabriel Jesus. What he's playing like Kai Havertz when he's not Kai Havertz. And what happens in the end, the player will lose. We got Tyrane on the left and he was bombing forward like a crazy guy, making all those badass crosses. Then we bought Zinchenko and asked Tyrane to do the Zinchenko job. But he could not do it and he had to go. So my issue right now is that despite playing one full campaign with us, Gyökeres has not adjusted fully to Arsenal's style of play. And at the same time, Arsenal is not really willing to adapt to Gyökeres' style of play. And the only thing that can happen is probably him leaving in the future for someone that fits that system to play. Because right now, our attack is horrible. Anytime you play Gyökeres with Madueke and Martinelli, it's dog shit. As Darkside rightly mentioned, it's only Trossard and Eze that actually try to feed the Gyök. Because they know that this guy is someone that can cook if you give him the right type of passes. Yeah, I know that opportunity that happened later on when he passed the ball to a Newcastle player when two guys were free. You rightly mentioned, in the Bournemouth game, they gave Kai Havertz a simple pass and he gave the ball to the Bournemouth player, and we didn't hear this kind of backlash on him. Yes, he's a favorite to a certain degree, but I just feel that at this point in time, Arteta has to be the one to leave, because if you give me a Luis Enrique or a Hansi Flick, they will turn Gyökeres to a Lewandowski. They will change the game style to fit in the kind of player that we have. Arsenal has too many technical players that are so good. Odegaard, Eze, but they all play like robots because of the bloody system that we have. Even Saka now doesn't even cut in as much because they're playing Timber in the right half space. So basically, our system is a problem. Our system is stifling Gyökeres, and in this horrible, this terrorist system, he has scored 18 goals. So that's a testament of how good this guy really is.
Yeah.
You understand? I assume not shares to know that, but right now that he's in our club, I have to give him the support that he deserves. But what I'm watching on the pitch clearly is that our players, one, don't trust him enough, and two, our system is crap. For the life of me, I never know how we are where we are, if we're being honest. You are top of the Premier League. You have a Martinelli that has scored 1 goal in the Premier League. You have a Madueke that has scored 2 goals in the Premier League. You have a Trossard that has scored 4 goals in the Premier League, and you're on top. So we're just looking at early in the campaign, we're reaching our set pieces to get 1 or 2 good goals. But our attack has been cow dung. Like, you can use our attack as fertilizer, and all the plants there will grow. That's how terrible our attack is right now. Now, going to the Newcastle game, it's on the same bloody crap we have been seeing all season. From the Carabao Cup final up until the Man City game, we're playing horrible football. There was some improvement in quote against Man City, even though we still lost. But in the Newcastle game, we're expecting these guys to like really come out, right? Osula actually had the first chance. If that air shot didn't go, it would have been a different conversation right now. Votman chipped the ball to Johan Wissa. The defense was lagging, and for some reason, Wissa skied the ball over the bar. So we basically had luck in that game. But big ups to Eze. That is one player that is not showing any nerves in how he plays. You saw the first opportunity he played ball to his left, he went wide. But when he had the same chance again, he smashed this ball with such technique that Pope had no way in hell to catch that ball. Why are we still deploying this guy on the left? Pins Zubimendi, play Rice as a 6 and let Eze cook through the middle. The only problem now is that we have dog crap on the left-hand side, Martinelli and Trossard is thinking up the place. So we need to really prioritize on getting a left winger and a striker. But right now, the Newcastle game was horrible to watch. 1-0 was very, very, very delicate. We have basically run out of every excuse we can give ourselves anymore, because you can call the Wolves game, you can call the Bournemouth game, you can call the Nottingham Forest game. Those are the buffers we had. Man City was always a potential loss, right? And it happened the way it did. But right now, as it stands, we don't have any room for error anymore. So if you give me horrible performances like that and give me a 1-0, I will take it. But the problem is that Man City have the potential to score more goals than us. And if this league is going to be decided on goal difference, trust me, I'll go nuts. But I just hope that Everton away or Bournemouth away can help us while we try to do our own thing.
Is the stream buffering, guys? Because from what I've seen, like it's actually not too bad.
No, it's clear. We can hear you well, and I think it's
like the stream itself, like
Yes,
I'm hearing people.
Oh, okay. I've not opened YouTube to check that. Maybe I should. But Karl,
I've got it on my phone.
Yeah, I've got it on my screen right now, and it's not buffering at all.
Okay, cool.
All right, okay.
Yeah, it seems all right.
Drew Muncher, just reset your computer, mate. It might be that.
Oh my days. But yeah, like, so 80. Would you still say that we should get, or we should have got Sesko in the summer instead of Gyökeres?
Yeah, I would say that because Sesko would have fit our system perfectly.
But
Right.
would Sesko have scored the number of goals that Gyökeres has so far this season?
Probably not. If I'm being honest with myself, Sesko
Yeah,
is not a good finisher like Gyökeres. But we're talking about a system-based approach that Arsenal plays. If we got a Gyökeres and change our system to fit him, Gyökeres would have bagged more goals than he's bagging right now. That's for sure. But we are trying to make Gyökeres be like a Sesko or be like a Havertz or be like a Gabriel Jesus. And he can't give you that. He doesn't have that technique. He doesn't have that hold-up play. What he loves is give the ball into space and give him a chance in the box to finish. But we're not doing that for him. So we are basically stuck. We're basically in a loop right now where our players are not doing well enough to feed him because you have idiots like Madueke and Martinelli who never look up. I don't understand. Like, I've never seen a winger that every time he gets the ball, he goes to a goal kick. Like, in every game, Madueke will have one opportunity where he takes on his man and the ball goes out for a goal kick. That thing is mad. It's like craziness. I don't know how we allowed Nwaneri go to roast in France when Saka got injured in 23-24. Nwaneri was cooking on that right-hand side and he scored up to 10 goals for us. That 15 million would have been used to do something better. But we got this fraud from Chelsea who has added to the list of frauds that Chelsea give us, Willian, Gallas, David Luiz. I want to unleash my inner self right now. Trust me. I'm just trying to calm myself down.
Man's a David Lewis, you know. Sounds like you call him David Luiz.
No, I think Chelsea always gives us players without the user manual. See how long it took for us to unlock Kai Havertz. When we bought him as a replacement for Xhaka, Havertz was basically crapping the entire place. We had to beg to give him a penalty against Bournemouth to score his first goal for us. Willian came as a pensioner to earn money. Pepe was doing very well. We actually sent Pepe away just to allow Willian coming. David Luiz, pure crap. Willian Gallas crying on the pitch. Tell me the last player that we got for Chelsea that actually did well enough for us. So why are we still going there?
Oh my god. David Lewis, you know. I mean, the way I judge Sesko, right, is he's pretty much Kai Havertz with a buzz cut. That's what it is.
Yeah.
In Sesko's defense, Sesko is quite rapid for someone of his height. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, he's actually a brilliant ball striker. That's number three. And that's number two. And number three, he's actually decent in the air as well.
He's very good in the air. Yeah. Because I mean, look at that game against Bournemouth that Kai Havertz missed from 2 yards. Like, I don't understand. Even Man City, like, why are you even in the air if you cannot knock the ball? Like, he had the entire bloody gaping goal to aim at. What have been in this situation right now?
I mean, would you agree that Havertz is the type of striker that we need, but the guy just sucks at his job?
Well, how can he be the striker we need when he's not a
But
striker?
he's not a striker. He's not a bloody striker. He's an attacking midfielder.
I mean, very
He's
good at
not,
that either.
he's not a midfielder anyway, 80. He's not even a midfielder anyway.
You put him in midfield, all hell breaks
I
loose.
can't play midfield. It's been evident for ages. So what are we doing here, bro?
Man, I don't know, man.
Just to throw this out there, Roy, just to throw this out there as well, Gyökeres spent 2 seasons at Sporting Lisbon, didn't he? Spent 2 years at Sporting Lisbon. 102 appearances, scored 97 goals. He had 28 assists in those two seasons.
Yeah, but they see the Portuguese league tax though, Karl. If you think of Darwin Nunez, if you think of Hulk, if you think of Bas Dost, Portugal has some dusty guys that actually played in that campaign.
None of them put up the same amount of numbers as Gyökeres did.
No.
No.
Not true. Gyökeres Defense League. That's not true. I've already debunked this already. That's actually not true. That's factually not true. Not even close to Gyökeres blood. It's not true. Sorry,
What's not true?
That Darwin Nunez and Hulk have put up similar numbers to Gyökeres. They haven't.
No, they haven't. But no, my point is that
close to Gyökeres' numbers in Portugal, and Gyökeres was doing it in the Champions League as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
He put Ruben Diaz on his bum twice in that City game where he got a hat trick. Let's not forget.
Yeah, exactly. And I was about to say, when Ruben Diaz played in the Portuguese league as well, that's another one as well. Like, players have come from Portugal and they have succeeded. I'm not saying Gyökeres has been a massive success, but the guy's still been our top scorer, scored 18 goals, and them goals could lead us to a title. I'm not saying it will, but it could.
Yeah.
Right? We'd already be seeing armpits already by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, ain't it crazy that I'm pretty sure, I can't remember who said it in the chat, maybe AFC Always or someone, I don't know. But it's funny that we were 9 points clear when Gyökeres was playing up front. Now Havertz has come back into the team, we're now relying on goal difference. So it's like, oh, well, if only Gyökeres got that pass right, we miss out on this title on goal difference.
Yeah, no,
then
that's not fair.
Excluding the point we were 1-0 up before that anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. But why are we even in that position anyway? Why
How
are
about
we
not-
in that position where we've got to rely on goal difference?
How about not draw against Sunderland? How about not draw against Wolves? How about not draw against freaking Brentford? How about not freaking lose to Man United in your own fucking backyard? How about not lose to
And
Bournemouth
guess
in your own backyard? I mean, come on. And you're going to rely, and they're going to blame Gyökeres, and they're going to put all the blame on Gyökeres on that one incident where he failed to put a pass through.
Yeah.
Fucking
And guess what?
dumbasses, a lot of them.
Guess what? Ain't it funny that most of the games we've dropped points in, Gyökeres has actually been subbed off?
Yeah, bro.
And the four out of the 5 losses this season, Odegaard has been on the pitch.
Bro.
Exactly.
Bro. And let's not forget, also, our highest scoring game, Odegaard usually didn't start. Let's not forget that as well.
Yeah.
Every time Gyökeres gets subbed off, we concede. We usually concede within 10 minutes, by the way.
Would you say though that our best front four and the best football we saw at the start of the season was when we had Mourinho, Saka, Eze, and Trossard? Would you agree that would be our best front four?
The fact that we are relying on fucking Mourinho to be the one that unlocks everything is quite damning to the way how the squad's been built, and if that's the case.
Bro, can I just say this, yeah? A lot of people might not get this reference, yeah, but the fact that like we're even relying on like Karl said, players like Mourinho and Trossard, you're basically saying, can you get a level 20 Pidgey to beat the Elite Four, bro? No. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. We need to start with, like, even though we played good football at the beginning of the season, I think that's because our players weren't as fatigued, yeah? So when the players aren't as fatigued, it's easier for them to run around, do all this like tracking back that Mikel Arteta wants to do. So we're going to play better football because we have more stamina, more energy. Now we're towards the end of the season. He hasn't rotated. Wanyeri's on loan. You're seeing the lack of quality from especially the left-hand side. For me, nah. Rory, you're my boy, but I can't agree with that one. I think it's down to.
I'm not saying that I necessarily agree. I'm asking you lot whether or not you think that when we saw arguably our best football early on in the season, our front four was Mourinho, Eze, Saka, and Trossard at one stage. And in all fairness, we did play our best football then, because, you know, Bayern Munich, we beat them 3-1. I'm looking at Tottenham 4-1, etc., etc. I'm not saying every single game, by the way, was perfect. And listen, there were certain games where Mourinho did not suit. For instance, you know, Aston Villa away from home, like he should never have started that game. But I do agree. Like I think Gyökeres should be our striker for the time being. I think for me, if the likes of Saka, if the likes of Trossard, Odegaard, Martinelli, all these attackers were producing double figures, for instance, right? And Gyökeres was stagnating, I'd probably look at it and go, yeah, you know, this guy's pretty crap, isn't he? Because he's supposed to be our striker, and he's just properly stagnated after the season he's had at Sporting, when the likes of Saka, Martinelli, Trossard are producing double figures. But because Saka hasn't ripped up any trees this season, because basically
the manager's locked him.
Yeah, he's pretty much fucked. Martinelli has been crap for 2 years. Odegaard's been crap for 2 years. Trossard's getting on. Jesus has been washed for years since his injury. Havertz is just shit. So, like, I'm sorry. You can't tell me any of the other attackers are performing and then just point out Gyökeres. Surely all these attackers aren't crap. Do you guys see where I'm coming from here?
Mm.
Yeah.
So like, at what point do we look at the manager and go, you know what, he's the problem, you know?
He's actually the problem. Because first things first, sorry for continuing that side. My first issue is the lack of rotation. That shit sucks. Better went to the summer and got you 8 bloody players. We have played 2,970 minutes of Premier League football. Nogat has had only 56. A player that was in Brentford for 7 bloody seasons, who was the captain of that club that knows the Premier League in and out. But for some reason, you trust Zubimendi, probably from your village or something, and you play him every bloody week, even when he's bloody tired. There are so many games you could actually take Zubimendi out, bring Trossard and bring Nogat on to kill it off, because he had the experience and know-how. For some reason, manager doesn't trust him enough. Lewis Kelly was so good that we allowed Zinchenko and Tierney leave the club. Calafiori managed to now get some level of fitness. You play him so much, forget that you had a Lewis Kelly in your team. Start playing Hincapi as your now. Lewis Kelly has regressed so badly that when you bring him to the pitch, it's like crap. Same with White. White was so good for us. I mean, played through injuries for us. But this guy played Timber so much that White became crap. Now that White is around, we are hoping for Timber to come back because Timber has played so many games and is now injured. So what
is going on with Timber, by the way? He is supposed to be like a matter of days. Is he actually alive?
Timber's done, bro.
This guy is done, man.
Done, bro. It's done.
Jeez.
I think he'll be out for the season, you know, unfortunately.
Like if you see how he came out against Everton, how he was like basically shaking his head, like he knew that he had done something bad to himself, pretty much. And that was a match.
It's probably not the wingers not suiting Gyökeres' playing style. It's the way they're set out.
Yeah.
Have you seen how many times our fullbacks are in front of our wingers?
No,
in possession every single time. So it's not necessarily the wingers not suiting Gyökeres' style. Odegaard, fair enough.
So this guy has to go. He has to go, man, because his tactics are crap right now. Saka and Trossard hold the width to allow the fullbacks play the half space. I think that makes sense to me, bro.
Would you sack Arteta at the end of the season, regardless of what happens from now to the end of the season?
Absolutamente. In
Amen.
Español, absolutamente sí. Yes.
Amen, man. Amen to that. The only thing is that can we lure Luis Enrique to come? Like, can he get so bored at PSG that he has no choice but just to come and join us? Because that is someone that we can really cook with. Like, if I see Enrique, I think of that his Barcelona side that was like dominating world football. And we have all those kind of players that he needs. Odegaard, Eze, they can do some Pedro and Gavi kind of shit, man. He can turn Gyökeres to a lewer. You can allow the guys basically enjoy their creative freedom, show off their flair. Because The right now, our players are playing like robots. And that's the problem. You have guys that are so good, but when you watch the football, you're like, what the hell are you even watching? See that Konaki? Hey, Dom.
It's domination in the nation. Eh?
Yes, sir.
Mate, at 42 and having run for, nearly 2 hours.
Yeah. This might be your last stream, if you have a heart attack during the stream. So I pray for you tonight, bro. I'm telling you.
Pray for the opponents. We just went back top.
Big up yourself.
Evening, gents.
What did you make of the game overall at the weekend? Did you catch up on the game, or I'm pretty sure you did watch it, right?
Yeah. It's I missed the last 5 minutes because I had to take my son's friend home. So I can't remember the last thing I saw, or the first thing I saw on catch up was Gyökeres not finding Martinelli and Saka. So, but I watched what I didn't watch when I got back. But yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a scare performance again, wasn't it? Really, and I think that's the big worry right now is that mental aspect of the entire squad. Sorry, I'm trying to get my breath back. I finished 20 minutes ago. But yeah, it's when you get to my age, taking your shin pads off is knackering. But yeah, I think that's the concern going into the last 4 or 5 games is that mental aspect. Can they be brave? Because I think AT was probably referring to it just now. Obviously caught the tail end of what he was saying. It's going backwards, or we're overhitting passes in those moments that matter. And I think it's in their head where they're scared to make a mistake, and as a result, you think about the mistake and you make it. And I think that's the big concern. But at least we've got a win. We needed a win after a poor set of results recently. And if we can win again on Saturday, it puts some scoreboard pressure on. But it's going to be a hard last few games.
Yeah, what would you make of the Gyökeres slander, which has been pretty much all over the timeline since that 4-on-1 that he fucked up, etc., etc. Like, how many times have we been in this situation over the years where we've messed up these 1v1s? I'm thinking, Martinelli, Trossard away at Man City a couple of seasons ago, Martinelli and bloody Saka away at Liverpool. It's happened on numerous occasions, but Gyökeres is the first guy we shoot, obviously, because he's not the guy that Arteta wanted. It feels like. But would you make it the Gyökeres slander? Did you defend it, or are you against the agenda? Because I feel like it's ridiculous to me.
You talking to me or?
Dom.
Yeah.
Or you? Just,
yeah.
I said Dom,
Yeah. Look, I don't.
Not on the bloody stream.
I don't really go in for that sort of thing. I think when you're seeing it consistently, then you can start to do it. Look, Gyökeres, we know when he came in, the sort of the weakest part of his game, if you like, was that link-up play, because it wasn't really a big part of his game at either Coventry, where I did see a bit more of him than I did in Lisbon. I'm not going to profess to be an expert, but you can read and sort of hear his profiles and what have you. But build-up play is his weakest part of the game. He's designed to be on the shoulder, playing it in. And so the perfect position for him is almost that Odegaard one where he doesn't knock him through. He's on the shoulder. He's in the channel. That is where Gyökeres is at his best. That's where you need to find him. Obviously, he's going to need to adapt because the Premier League is very different. You've got deeper defences, you've got better defences, etc., etc. And Arsenal play in a very different style. So I think you kind of know what you're getting when you got him, that it was going to be something different. And I think that's what Arsenal needed. You want different types of profiles because otherwise you're very, very similar. I think we were talking last week, and Karl and I were talking about that if you get in, what's his face from Atletico Madrid, you get him in.
Alvarez,
thank you. I could only think of Aguero. I was like, that's going back a bit.
Wouldn't mind him though.
But actually, you don't want him and Havertz. They're so similar, and obviously Alvarez is the upgrade, right? You do want slightly different profiles around to be able to mix it up. So I think it's over the top because we know that's not his biggest part of his game, and it's not like players are doing it on purpose. When you're seeing consistently, I think that's when you can have that kind of conversation. But it's not like he's consistently failed to knock a ball in behind constantly like that. So But obviously, it's disappointing when you don't then take advantage because goal difference could be important.
I mean, that's another good point, to be fair. Why was he even on the left wing anyway? I don't get it, to be honest. Josh, I mean, perfect timing, to be fair. Just as Dom was about to finish, you come in, so we'll obviously go to you next. What do you make of the game overall, bro? And obviously, what do you make of this Gyökeres slander? Because it's doing my bloody head in, you know.
Yeah, first of all, evening everyone, even in chat. Oh, everyone's doing good. Sorry, I'm really late. I've had a mad day with filming and all that. I went and did that preview of Atleti and all that, Atleti fans, so that was good. But yeah, Newcastle game, I barely remember it, to be honest. It was that bad, bro. Apart from Eze, big up to him. What a goal that was. He's really, in the recent games, he's really been stepping up. It's why I don't understand why he got hooked at Man City, to be honest with you, when he hit the post straight after that and he gets subbed off for that. Yeah, but he's really picked up his form, so that's promising there. And but I mean, apart from that, I mean, Newcastle, they could have got a draw out of it if you remember that Wizard chance, right? The one
yeah, they could have.
Voltamada puts a mad Iniesta-esque ball into Visa, and I think he was onside as well, wasn't he? Looking back on it.
Yeah, he was onside. Yeah.
Yeah, so he missed a sitter there. So maybe we got away with that because the overall performance once again is what we've been seeing. It was nervy, it was dull, it was dross. It's like we didn't go for the kill. Newcastle were there to be got at. You know, they've been on some really bad form. I thought the midfield for them, the likes of Tonali, the likes of Bruno G, really stood out compared to our midfield.
They dominated that area, didn't they, Josh?
100%. And I feel Rice can't do it all by himself, man. And the finish for me is Rice and Zubimendi. They've played so many minutes this season. It's like, where's Norgard? Like, this guy's not even in the squad. He's not even in the squad. It's like, why is Zubi? And you've noticed with Zubi, he's really dropped off, man. What? I bet he noticed him in the Newcastle game.
It's kind of mad.
I don't notice this guy.
It's kind of mad because I actually thought, you know, despite Zubimendi being sick and all, which is what I heard before the game.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of his better games, you know, which is kind of strange. I don't think he played too bad. I thought he started off really shakily, by the way. Opening 20 minutes, he was awful. But I thought he actually grew into it, you know. I don't know about you, but I thought it was okay, you know.
Yeah, okay. That's that. I don't think he's anything spectacular.
I
don't think anyone was, apart from Nkapie, right? He's a flipping stud, that guy, man. That guy's a beast.
Solid.
Yeah, what and I think that's been confirmed that we signed him permanently now as well, which is good to
yeah, pretty much.
So yeah.
It was a rare deal, wasn't it, for Nkapie?
Yeah, similar to the rare thing.
Pretty much.
The whole Gyökeres thing, I still find it a miracle that he scored 18 goals in how we're playing, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
I think it's mad, to be honest with you. Like, if Sesko came in, who he was looking at, and he scored that many goals, everyone would be crimming about him probably, saying, oh, what a signing. But for me, Gyökeres, right, he's, well, I mean, it's the same story with him all season. Yeah, to be honest with you, the pass frustrated me, right? The one that I think you all spoke about it, the one where he's got to play, I think, Martinelli in, yeah? That was annoying. But then at the same time, let's talk about Odegaard, when Odegaard could have played him clean through on goal. Instead he goes the opposite way. That's the Gyökeres. I think Dom said it a minute ago. That's the Gyökeres signature run, out wide. He gets played through. It's probably a goal, and yet Odegaard passes the other way.
Pass, didn't he, against Tottenham, Odegaard, and he scored from it.
Yeah, exactly, bro. It's just ridiculous. Like Gyökeres for me, he was never going to get the numbers that he produced in Portugal because it's ridiculous. You're coming to the Premier League, right?
I think the last person who did that was Andy Cole for Newcastle in about 95, 96, something like that.
Yeah, but the thing
is, man.
Hey, Karl can give me a run for my money after last week.
But yeah, I mean, just looking at Gyökeres overall, of course he was not going to get those goals, but I just feel like under a different system, on a different manager, it's not just him in this attack, man. It's all of the attackers, yeah. And it's the way how we're playing. It's the way how this manager's setting them up and how they've all regressed under him. Let's be real with it. And at the end of the day, Gyökeres on a different manager will get more goals if you actually play to the guy's strengths. And this guy, people can doubt him all they want, but this guy's already proved. You know, number one, he went to England already in the Championship, yeah, for Coventry. And he had 2 great seasons there. He scored goals of fun for Coventry, and that's a championship as well. It's a physical league. It's a tough league, yeah. And then he did it in the Champions League as well. The seasons that he was in there, like I do get it because it's a Berta signing, and everyone's putting the blame on Berta. I've seen people put the blame on Berta for Noni Madueke. What?
Nah.
Mate, Arteta.
He confirmed Arteta was very keen on Madueke.
Arteta was very keen on Noni Madueke, exactly. But they blame everything but Arteta, unfortunately. This is where we're at. So Gyökeres, he'll probably end up, I mean, what we got, 4 games left, Champions League games. He'll get a few more. I said it from November, this guy will get 20 goals in all comps, which for a first season, considering how we play, and how he barely suits his system, that ain't bad.
He's overtaken Drogba now, I think, for his first season.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go, man. But yeah, overall, Dross performance, I mean, we're back top of the league. But I mean, in terms of people talking about goal difference, everyone was banning on about Burnley only losing 1-0 to Man City and saying that's a good result to us. Well, maybe we need to have the same energy for our result then, because I don't think that was, maybe it will come down to a shootout. Maybe it will come down to that.
Josh, there is a YouTuber, I can't get the name, I have to go back and watch Shane Gooner's channel, but someone put a freaking, put a short out when the lineup come out going on Newcastle, and I said, let's go out, let's beat the hell out, let's go beat the shit out of this, that, and the other. 2 shorts later, which was like a day later, he criticised Gary Neville, because Gary Neville basically turned around and said that Arsenal need to score more goals in order to win the league. He freaking he fucking walked it back by turning around and saying, that's a wrong thing to say, we don't need to score them. And he goes, bro, you said that 2 shots ago, you fucking prick. Like, what the hell are you doing?
So Karl, the last time we checked, double standards rule the world, bro. Pretty much. Because you see folks say one thing, and they act like no one is watching them on the internet, and you go out and say another thing afterwards.
In his bio, it says Arsenal fan as the 3rd line. His top line is actor. That tells you all you need to know.
That tells you all you need to know, yeah? That sums it all up.
I mean, in fairness, I never expected to go and batter Newcastle. I know they're in poor form too, but I think what you do need to do, though, to the point that Karl's talking about, this gentleman talking about, it's when you play Fulham and, I mean, I think West Ham will be tricky, but Burnley, they're the
ones you got to rack the score on them.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, but my problem is that we're not creating enough.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
not creating anything,
our open play XGs at the gutter. I'm sure Dom has our position right now on the table. Where are we on open play XG, bro?
I think we're second for open play XG, actually.
Really?
Of course we are.
We're certainly. I think last time I checked, which admittedly was about a month ago, we were certainly in the top 3. But here is an interesting one for you, and I can't quite remember the exact numbers. I do not like, and I have consistently not liked, the front 3 of Martinelli, Madueke, and Gyökeres, because I think it's similar. Our XG is 0.9 goals per 90 minutes lower with those 3 on the pitch than it is without them. And it's because they're too similar. It's what we were just talking about just now, when you need those different profiles to connect together. But I think a lot of this right now, as I was saying at the top, is mental. The only player that doesn't look like they're playing scared right now, or players, are Hincapié and Eze.
Yeah.
That's because they haven't caught the fucking woke fungus that is Mikel Arteta yet. That's the only reason. That is the only reason.
I do think there's an element here of the players really sort of feeling this pressure.
Yeah, because if you listen to Eze's press conferences, the guy sounds so chilled. And he doesn't even act like he's in the same environment with everybody around him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When the ref blew the final whistle, I think that was like this. Rice was like this. Odegaard was like this. I'm like, whoa! Like, this pressure is so much on these guys. Like, it's so much, and it's actually showing in how we play. And even the crowd, the Emirates crowd, doesn't help as well. Any misplaced ball, so. The pressure is just on everyone, and Arteta is to blame, because we had games we should have killed off to allow this like to stroll in the back at this end of the campaign.
80, the title should have been killed off in February, bro. In February, that's when it should have been.
Did you guys see it full time? The way like everyone just collapsed after that full time whistle,
on their back.
We've still got 4 games left, bro.
And Champions League.
And champs.
And champion, yeah, exactly. And these men are collapsing in what, the 34th game of the season? Is it not?
Yeah.
I'm just like, bro, these
That's
lot are.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
Yeah, so this is the haram derby, man. Coming soon. I'll take my 0-0, man, and just go.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dom and Josh came a lot later, and I asked, would you say that the front four, and I know like we spoke on Gyökeres briefly, but would you say that front four of Marino, Eze, Saka and Trossard benefits us better because we actually played our better football of the season with that four starting in the front line?
What, with Marino up front?
Marino, Eze, Saka and Trossard. Because obviously we beat Tottenham, we beat Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Would you say... I know, like, again, Gyökeres has done his part this season, I would say. Like, he's still scored 18 goals in that system. But forget, Havertz, right? We talk about him. Would you say Marino, Saka, Eze, Trossard benefits us better rather than...
You bring Eze in the 10?
Yeah, Eze in the 10.
In the 10.
Yeah, sorry, because the way you sort of set it up made it sound like he's on the left and Trossard was at 10.
No. So Saka, Eze, Trossard, Marino. Right, what were you guys saying about that?
I think so. But for me, you're looking back at the time where you had a player like Trossard, yeah, who was he was on fire.
Yeah.
You know, and he gets some big goals. I remember the Fulham goal, the Sunderland goal, Sunderland as well. Yeah, he was clutch. He's playing some proper football. We was like, damn, this Trossard is on smoke this season. But then he's fallen off a cliff. He's really been off it the last couple of months. As for Marino, like, look, I don't mind Marino, but I get he could get goals here and there. I just see him as a bench player, man. I see him someone you bring off the bench if you need to change something. You know, he calls mayhem in the box, like he'll try and make an impact, and he proved that for Germany in the Euros against Spain. He proved it a few times for us as well. I don't see him as a regular out and out starter. I know he has step up when we had the injuries last season, and he scored a few in the champs and all that. But as an out and out starter, I don't see him as that player. But I actually think I personally think we've been missing him a little bit, even bringing off the bench in some of these games personally.
Yeah. He's the archetypal squad player signing, isn't he? You know, when you judge him through that window, he's a good signing. If you judge him as a starter, obviously not. But his versatility and his ability to play different roles in different ways is quite important. So I agree we've missed him, but he doesn't start my front four.
Yeah.
Can I just say this, guys? Yeah. The moment we officially lose the title race is when we go play West Ham. That's the day we're going to lose. That's the day we're going to...
I'm dreading that game, mate.
Yeah.
I'm going to it as well.
We're going to win all of our games bar West Ham, by the way.
But I'm hoping that Man City can drop points to Everton before we go to play West Ham.
I don't see it. At first, I thought maybe that they will drop points. But after Everton's form lately, I think because Europe is slowly fading for that, I think they're going to be on the beach come Monday night. Although, to be fair, under the lights, you never know, right? Maybe. We've still got to do our job. Don't forget that.
Exactly.
The thing is with Everton, they're going through the same teething pains as what any football club does when they move into a new stadium for their first year. They're trying to adapt to their new home, which is why you see their home record is not as good as their away record. Their away record is third best in the Premier League.
Yeah.
The only game I see, but Bournemouth. I was about to say that.
That's the only one.
That's the only game because they're actually fighting for Europe as well. They're like sixth. They're like sixth or fifth now. I'm pretty sure.
Seventh.
Sorry, seventh. Yeah, but they're fighting for Europe, and they play. Obviously, they want to give that manager a good send off as well before he goes. Obviously, and he's playing proper football with them. But I'm hearing that they're trying to change the fixture. They're trying to play the Bournemouth game a bit more earlier, and they're trying to get Palace a bit more later or something.
Yeah. It's because of the FA Cup final, so they have too many clashes. Palace is seeing his Conference League semis. So they have to wait for Palace to actually get to the final of the Conference League or get out before they can fix that fixture.
But I think they're going to drag us through it one more time, I don't think Man City and Arsenal are going to win their remaining games. I think
someone's going to lose one.
I think both are going to drop points from now to the end of the season.
So
Yeah.
what? So what? Then it goes down to goal difference.
You drop points against.
Yeah, I do.
Depends if one draws and one loses, but I think it will. I think it will be decided by a point.
Yeah.
Like one way or
And,
another.
and I'm really scared of that West Ham game, in all honesty, because if those guys know they need that result, if Spurs plays earlier and gets a result, and West Ham know they need to actually get a win to get to be crazy.
Yeah.
See, we should be in a situation where we can go and lose to West Ham on purpose and make Spurs.
Yeah, exactly. That's what everyone was saying.
Stop stealing my fucking paragraph from last week, Darkside. Come on.
Man. Well, I really miss Spurs though. My free 6 points. Oh
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
just really quickly, Roy. Just by the way, we're third in the XG table. I looked it up.
Right, okay.
But that wasn't what I was going to say. Just looking at the fixtures, I mean, if West Ham can get a result at Brentford this weekend, and then they do play us before Spurs, annoyingly, and Villa beat Spurs, that would be. I'd feel slightly less worried about the West Ham result, but that is the one I fear the most. Along with everyone else.
A record's decent at West Ham. It's just every time
in a title race, isn't it?
West Ham
in a title race.
It's in a title race, and even though it's not the bowling ground, that stadium will pack some noise for about 2 minutes, and then it just dies down because everyone is so far away from the pitch. But
well, I was going to say that's the roar you hear when they're coming out the tunnel, but it takes that long to get to the pitch. You stole my joke. But we could do with Spurs playing before West Ham play, because if they lost them both, suddenly there's less sort of on it for West Ham. But
so Tottenham play Leeds. Tottenham play Leeds in that game in that week, the same time, the same week we play.
It's on the Monday.
And Leeds play Burnley this weekend, so you expect Leeds to win that. They'll be safe then. They might just be like, whatever. Doesn't bother us.
But Leeds still has West Ham as well, so they need to be careful.
If you're 40 points or over, you're safe.
Yeah.
40 points or over, you're safe.
Yeah, I agree.
No. In the history of the Premier League, no team's gone down with 40 points or more.
Yeah,
it's always been under 40.
No, I think a team has gone down before.
West Ham. But only once, which
I know this.
Normally 40 points makes you safe, but
that was West Ham, wasn't it? That was West Ham.
That was West Ham.
But once in 20, 35 years is, it's a bit like Leicester winning the league. It's one in a lifetime sort of.
It's a one-off. But normally with 40 points you should be safe. So if Leeds beat Burnley, I think they will take the brakes off against Tottenham and potentially lose that game. But that will put pressure on West Ham to play us.
Yeah, exactly, bro. That West Ham game is going to be the only game I'm looking at is the Burnley game, because they're done in it.
Yeah.
That's the only game. The other games, I ain't got no confidence for any of them, if I'm being real with it.
I mean, Fulham have like the worst away record in the league, I think. But
we struggle against Fulham most of the time.
All the time, I don't know what it is. All the time. Well, majority of the seasons.
It's ironic. It's like Wolves, which we've seen this season, but it's been like Brighton as well. They're just one of those sides. Certain sides tend to struggle against certain sides. It must be the way they're set up, or I don't know what it is. But we really struggle against.
Oh my God!
Wait, home or away?
Yeah, come on. Should we get Spurs and just lose to West Ham on purpose to solidify their relegation? I can't tell if this is rage bait but yeah. Let's say if Arsenal were like 12 points clear, I'd be, go on then, let's field out a second string team just to give them a taste of their own medicine for celebrating Man City beating them. So, I'd be tempted, but because we have to win our remaining 4 games, that we just have to, then we've got to win that game. Although, to be fair, it will be a painful watch for Spurs fans because, if if they don't want us to win the league, then they'll have to cheer on West Ham. But then again, the
term of phrase I would use is to slay an enemy, you have to sleep with a greater one.
Nice.
Fucking hell.
My Tottenham.
Sleep with an enemy to slay a greater one. Is that?
Yeah, but mate once supports Spurs, and he was saying that when we played West Ham, he was like, "I'm going to have to support Arsenal. It's going to kill me, but I'm going to have to support Arsenal."
Dom, I was going to ask you, right? Do you think we're gonna, or do you think, in fact, let me rephrase that. Do you think we are capable of winning this league on goal difference at the moment, the way we are playing? Because I know you've been adamant on us winning the league, but like, do you see us winning this league on goal difference?
It was my prediction in August, and and until it can't come true, I'm going to stick with it. But as I said last week, was it last week? I can't remember. I've been asleep since then. I think momentum is obviously with City, and if you said you've got to put your, who you're betting on now, then it would be City. But I still think Arsenal will win the league. But if it comes down to goal difference, I think City will win it. They're in the ascendancy now. And I think they are a more attacking side. And what they have done in the last 8-9 weeks or so is sorted out, not quite that long, but since Real Madrid, they sorted out that issue in transition that's been their soft underbelly all season. They seem to have fixed that, and that makes them really, really dangerous. To be fair, so if it comes down to goal difference, it will be City definitely.
Yeah, my issue is the fixtures. Actually, they have Brentford. They have Palace, they have Villa, all at home. These 3 games, they can win like 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 if they can.
But at the same time, like, we've got more home games than away games from now until the end of the season.
We got 2 and 2.
No, just 2. Just Fulham and Burnley. That's all.
We got a Desmond, Rory. 2 home, 2 away.
Yeah, just 2.
Really?
Well,
yeah. One thing is, like, in this running, we've played more home games than we have away games.
Well, from the last 5 games, we had 3 and 2, but we played 1 now, so it's 2 and 2.
Yeah,
so just 2 and 2.
Plus, importantly, we don't leave London either, which is good, I think.
Yeah, that is helpful, particularly with the Madrid trip this weekend, because actually that also makes Fulham trickier. We've seen the Champions League away team struggle on the following, and this is not just Arsenal, by the way, this is across the league, and that will add another layer of jeopardy. But as I say, I think my biggest concern isn't anything on the pitch. It's all mentally. Players are, and the coaching staff and the fans are all feeling this pressure right now, bar those 2 players I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Do you still think we'll win the league, Dom?
Yeah, I just stick with my prediction. I'm not going to change right now, but as I say, I think momentum is with City. So if you said right now, which I think is going to be the answer to Dark's question, you've not made a prediction before, you're predicting who wins the league right now, then I would put my money on City. But obviously, I'm going to stick with my prediction from August because it was my prediction in August. But Darkside, sorry, I might not be the answer to a question you were about to ask.
Well, no, you kind of already answered my question. I was going to say, what do you see now that makes you still stick with your prediction, or are you just sticking with it because that's what you predicted at the beginning? You want to stick with it, or is there something in particular that you've seen that makes you think that we can pip City?
A bit of both. I mean, stick with the prediction because it's there, but also I think I do think we can win all 4 games on paper. I think we are capable of winning all 4, and I think if you win all 4, you've got a really big chance, as we were talking about earlier. I think one of these sides drops points.
Yeah.
But if you told me right now you had to bet on which one it would be us, because the thing that worries me most is the pressure the players are under. I think we spoke about it last week, how hard it is winning this one, and we seem to be really, for everybody, from fans right through to the team, are just struggling under the pressure. And whereas City don't seem to have that. They've done it before, obviously. They've got loads of players. And also, no one expected them to win it a couple of weeks ago even, and therefore they can kind of relax a little bit more. And that for me is a big fear. But
and it kind of pisses me off, because if you remember 2023, they were focused a whole lot more on the Champions League, right? And we're like 8 points ahead of them. Even if you notice, when they had games before the Champions League, they would rest a couple of players because they wanted to win the Champions League so badly. Then we now got to that run in April. Then we drew with Liverpool, they won. We drew with West Ham, they won. We drew with Southampton, and they were like, okay, if they win their next game and win Arsenal at home, they can potentially go ahead of us. And that's what happened, and that league just went away. So despite leading for 280-something days, we bottled it. This season we've led for 200 days, and we're in the same situation again. And that's what my problem is. Like, these guys, they want this league title so bad that they put themselves under so much pressure. And I don't know, man. Let's just see what happens in the next 4 games.
So, good guys, would you shave your head and for a year if it guarantees the league? Jesus.
Listen,
I can rock a buzz cut, so it doesn't bother me one bit.
listen, I'm telling you right now, as much as I
To be fair,
my
like-
hair, yeah. I'm telling you right now, well, only if it guarantees getting rid of Arteta. That's the only one.
So you would shave your head? And,
I would be a black snooker ball for 1 year. It came with a title, and it came with Lego Head getting sacked, mate.
Yeah, wow, that's peak, man. That's peak.
And you could call me 8 Ball for a year. If it
I was just going to say, does it make you 8 Ball?
Whoa. That was gangster, man.
That has to be said that has to be said by the correct person. Not us, Tom. Not us.
Yeah.
We'll get done
God.
impulsively for that.
But what I was going to say is, if I did it as well, would that mean that someone could get a cue and hit me into dark side?
Absolutely. We could go head to head, bro. Like 50-50 back in the day. If you're old enough to remember, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my days! Eyebrows too, you know.
Okay, eyebrows too is crazy.
No.
Yeah, that's why.
Eyebrows too.
Nah. I can't imagine Josh with no eyebrows. That would just look weird.
Oh, yeah.
Eyebrows are actually genuinely
Do we have something going at one stage? I remember when I said on your channel at one stage, Josh. I can't remember the bet, but it was something to do with me shaving my eyebrows.
What was it, man? I forgot.
Josh tries to remember.
You know what I'm on about, right?
Yeah, I remember something.
What was the bet?
Well, you guys try and remember, Gooner Gathering made a bet live on a show where I was on with him about.
Oh, was it the Arsenal Real Madrid?
That was Lee Meadows. That was Lee, wasn't it? It was Lee who was it? He bet he shaved his eyebrows if Nketiah scored or something like that.
Yeah, I was like.
Gosh, was it the Arsenal Real Madrid game?
No, it wasn't the Madrid game.
For what? For what?
It may have.
But
It may have been
what was a bet though?
I think it was something to do with if Arsenal score more than 2 goals. No, it was the PSV game, wasn't it?
PSV, yeah.
Yeah, PSV, and I said if we score more than 3 goals, something like that.
You'll shave
then
your
I'll
eyebrows
shave
off.
my eyebrows.
And you never did. And we scored 7. So you got to do it, mate.
So you're in fraud, bro.
To be fair, I had college in the morning, and there was no way I was shaving my eyebrows.
Okay. Yeah, you'll get bullied. That's fair.
The evening before I was going to college, no way. Not a flipping chance. Is there anything else you guys want to get off your chest before we move on to Atletico?
Hashtag Arteta out.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard AT get off his chest before.
Wait, AT, you're Arteta out?
Yep. I want Enrique. I'm tired of his football. I'm tired of the haram football.
Fair.
I've never heard him get off his chest, you know.
For me, I'm going to say one thing as well. Listen, Josh Kroenke in, Stan Kroenke out as well. That's what I'm going to
No.
No, come on.
No. But that side, they've been bringing a lot of money for Arteta to do what he's doing right now.
No. You need to understand what I'm saying. I said Josh Kroenke in, but Stan Kroenke out.
Stan Kroenke out. Josh, don't have much to do with the day-to-day stuff anymore. Do you think it is all Josh? Because I wouldn't.
Stan owns the money. Josh is in charge of day-to-day operations. That's how I think it goes.
Yeah.
So Stan can't be out, man. Silent Stan with the moolah. That works for us.
What's Josh Kroenke done as well? What's Josh Kroenke done?
I think personally, this season in particular, I think Josh wants to win now, and I think you've been. You know when we was at the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah, he looked vexed.
And he whispered to Arteta. He looked like he was like Arteta's news just got leaked, bro. He looked scared, bro.
Yeah.
He was ready to knock him out.
It's true, but like, still like no confirmation about him potentially leaving in the summer. Just because like he's got a winning mentality, it doesn't mean that he's going to be a stubborn ass.
Well, the only thing that keeps me like in some sort of like steed and it happening is because they done a similar thing with the Denver Nuggets team, and then when that manager was playing crap, they sacked him. So I don't understand why
they won't do this.
Is this NFL?
No, basketball.
NBA. That's NBA.
Oh. Right.
And that was after he won the title. And that was after he won the title as well. So Arteta's got no titles. So I'm sorry if Josh doesn't get rid of Arteta, for not winning the league this season, then I don't believe I'm not doing YouTube anymore, and I'm not buying a single. I do
agree. I think Josh Kroenke does have a little bit of mentality about him. He actually does turn up to games, but still, like, he hasn't shown any signs of he's absolutely got to win the league this season, or else he's gone. Have you heard any signs whatsoever?
There was two things he did mention. One about saying that he wants to win trophies, and the second part was, that's why do you think he brought Berta in? I know obviously Edu was gone, but why did he bring Berta in if that was the case?
But Berta's job isn't to sack the manager, though, is it?
The tipping point will be if Arteta signs a new contract, Berta will walk. He won't deal with this. He won't deal with this shit.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the thing. Why they talk about new contracts then? For the manager.
So apparently, a new contract has been spoken about in principle. So in principle, but nothing's been signed yet.
I mean,
they shouldn't even be considering a new contract at this point of the season.
Why are they rewarding failure? It's for this club. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to rant a little second because even you saying that is spinning my head, man. My fucking brains are pissing. Bro, this shit pisses me off. Why can't this club act like a big club for once in his fucking life, man? I've been supporting this club for nearly 27 fucking years, and it doesn't act like a fucking big club. Even the fact that, listen, as much as I love Wenger, why does this club not go and get fucking elite, proven fucking managers? Why does this want to do this fucking fairy tale fucking, let's go find this manager from, I don't know, man. It's just, why can't we act like a big club? The fact that it's even been done in principle is a fucking joke. 6 years, 1.3 billion, and 0 trophies because that FA Cup is Aubameyang's. It ain't that Lego head Forza FA Cup. It's Aubameyang's. Batman mask front flips. It ain't no one else's but Aubameyang. So don't tell me nothing, man. I'm sick of this club. You know what? By the end of the season, we could end up potentially being the 4th biggest club in England because of this stupid project. Confía en el proceso, they said. Trust the process, they said. Kiss my booty, bro.
So what do you still back Josh then?
Huh?
So why do you still trust Josh then?
Listen, I don't trust Josh either. I'm just clutching on straws, bro. I'm just. It's inshallah and pray, bro. It's inshallah and pray. I don't trust none of these pricks, bro. If it was up to me, I would tell them to sell the club and give it to Dangote or give it to the Spotify guy or give it to Byron Allen, whoever can afford this club, man. Because I want someone that wants to win. Give it to LeBron James, for fuck's sakes.
So is it Josh Kroenke in or is it Josh Kroenke out? I don't get it.
I mean, if it's like, if I'm thinking about how the club's being run with Stan in charge versus Josh being in charge or Josh seemingly being in charge, it's been better under Josh, but I don't completely trust him either. It's like, who do you want? The guy that, you know, the guy with the gun or the guy with the knife? Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh my days.
Just TG out.
Yeah, just the whole just listen, Kroenke out, man.
AT, mate. What did you say? AT, what, AT? What?
No, so I was just saying Josh out. I'm like, okay, there's a Josh, yes, okay, like, it can lead too, bro.
Get me in instead.
You know what I'm on about. Yeah, AT, I don't think I've ever heard you say Arteta out, by the way. Is that the first time?
Yeah, this is the first time because I'm tired. So, as I said...
How long have you been Arteta in for, by the way? Just curious.
Oh, let me see. Well, then again, how long has he been with us? So this is the deal.
Cheers.
Wenger was acting like Gaddafi. Towards the tail end of his career, he was geriatric, he was stale. Football had passed him by, but he didn't want to go, right?
Video I made myself.
So he basically took us to the trenches from... Okay, let me put it in context. When I was growing up, the only thing I knew was Wenger and Ferguson fighting for the Premier League. Yeah. So Arsenal win, Man U win, Arsenal win, Man U win. Then we left that part and went to the 9-year trophy drought. We see we're getting a new stadium, yada, letting our big players go. Fine. We still give Wenger our support. When he won the 2017 FA Cup, he was already in his Gaddafi mode at that point in time, his Idi Amin mode. That was when he was meant to leave. But he chose not to. And of course, we know what happened the next season. He finished in 6th place and he got sacked, but he said he resigned. Now we brought in...
I don't think he got sacked.
He got sacked. Trust me, he got sacked.
I don't think he got sacked though. I really don't.
Okay, fair enough.
He decided to walk at the time, I reckon.
That works out.
I agree with that, by the way.
Okay, fair enough. So we now got Good Evening, right? Good Evening came with the record of he had many Europa Leagues with Sevilla, yada. But we were not even, what's the word to use, patient with him, although his football was also crap with Guendouzi and the likes and whatnot. So when Ateta joined the club, it was like a reset. And we were in the trenches, 8th place, 5th, second. But between the second, we noticed that, okay, we're title contenders again, and now we're going to go over the line, right? And this was the season to basically prove to everyone that we're ready. But this season has been terrible in terms of the way we play our football. It's like pure haram mode. We just try to use set pieces to just get things right and whatnot. I'm happy, obviously, as a fan, that we are close to winning the Premier League title with Ateta. But the football has suffered. We are crap to watch. There are times when I watch Arsenal games, I sleep off. It's maybe because the noise I committed to that I wake up, but I'm like, oh, we really have something right now. That wasn't us before. So I think we have lost our identity as a club and an attacking club to basically use this defensive haram style that he's using right now. So he has to go, man. Like, let's get someone like Enrique, who prefers attacking football, and we have the footballers in the team that can suit that kind of game. 4-3-3, and we'll cook. Not this crap that we're doing right now. So if he wins the league, let him win the league and say, guys, thanks forever. I'm not signing a new deal. I'm out. Then deuces.
Damn. So you would sack him even if he wins the Premier League?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I will. I will.
Jesus. To be honest, I'm at that stage as well where I just don't think he can take us any further, because you think about it, World Cup's in the summer as well. So players are going to be even more jaded.
The worst part is the crap he says in his press conferences. Bring your lunch, bring your dinner.
Yes, I'm on fire, guys.
I'm on fire, and you see get smashed up. So just keep quiet and just let the football be talking, man.
Quality, by the way. But when Arteta was saying I'm on fire, what he really meant was he's getting fired.
That did make me laugh. That was quite funny.
Yeah, so I'm done, man. I'm tired. I'm actually tired, man.
And let's not forget, guys, if he does win the Premier League, if he does win the Premier League, the football will get even worse next season. By the way, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
He wins. That's why I don't want to say, because the football.
He'll be like, oh, it worked last season playing like this, so I'm going to keep. And we won the league, so I'm going to keep doing it.
There you go.
I don't know why I've got a feeling that he may release the handbrake a little bit.
Bro, you've been, bro.
Nah, I don't think so.
I've just got that sense. I'm not saying he will.
Bro, I don't think so.
People, not just you, but people have been saying this for freaking months now. Even I said it. I was like, okay, I think now he's going to release that. He never does.
If you get over the line, though,
next time I appear on this stream, I'm Chinese, bro. That's more chance of that happening than him releasing that. Because this manager he's just dedicated to playing this chat GPT football, man. It's freaking disgusting. It makes me.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if he gets over the line, then maybe.
No. So, Rory, the only way that can happen, okay, is if he goes to the transfer window and buys like an Alvarez.
No.
Rascalia.
Yeah, great.
No, 80. I don't want many players.
Nothing ain't gonna change, bro. I'm telling you that for free. You can give him prime Ronaldo, prime Messi, and prime Thierry, and nothing ain't gonna change, bro.
I'd rather a new manager. With the squad now than sign no players.
I agree. I agree.
I don't think he will, by the way. I mean, if we don't win the league, I don't think Arsenal will sack him. I think more likely is he resigns, but I think it's kind of a then go.
His ego is the size of New York City. He will not walk.
I think that. What I mean by that, I think the club will have a thing where basically they go, look, do you want to resign or do you want to go? And I think he will go in that scenario. But I wouldn't bet money on it because I'm not convinced Arsenal would. Because I think they are a club that values stability, and I think that is still at the core. I'm not saying it's right, by the way, because my position is quite clear. If we don't win the season, he's got to go, particularly the quality of manager potentially available this summer.
Yeah.
But I think if we were to win and he were to stay, I don't think I don't think it will be as bad as it's been in the last few weeks and months. I think, as I keep saying, a lot of this is coming down to that mental pressure. But he is first and foremost a defensive manager. You know, we generally see managers kind of stick roughly to their principles. You see tweaks within that, and we've seen Arteta make tweaks within that. We've seen Pep make tweaks within that, etc., etc. He is at heart a defensive manager, and I don't think that will change. And I think Arsenal will do that. If you look at the attacking players, he does tend to value their defensive output. It's why we don't see Max Dowman start games, for instance. It's why we saw Eza come out the side after Villa for quite some time, because he wants that defensive output. And I've no problem with midfielders doing that. But there are times when you just have to go and try and release the handbrake for, you know, I wasn't going to use that phrase, but it kind of came out, you know, where you just have to go, actually, now is that time to do that. And this is a side we can go and put to the sword and go and put them to the sword. You know, and it is harder this season because of where those defensive lines are, but it is still possible. And we don't do that. We would still, and I'm just using this as an example, we could be playing Burnley on, you know, Saturday. I know we're not. And we'd still play Martinelli potentially on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side instead of Calvin, because we want that defensive output. We don't need to do that against Burnley. But he would do that because that is his philosophy. And that won't change.
Yeah,
you're right.
I mean,
he's already been there. Oh, go on.
No, go on, Josh, go on.
I was going to say, Dom, you're right. Even when he first came in, you know how we won the FA Cup? I know the squad was crap, yeah, but the 2 games against Man City and Chelsea, we pretty much parked the bus. And then it was Aubameyang who was flipping moment of brilliance in both the games.
Yeah, just who's been on to Aubameyang every time?
Obama who?
The thing I would say though about that, and that is absolutely true, Aubameyang got us over the line just with his sheer brilliance, right? And he was fantastic. I do think that defence needed sorting out. I do think he was right to go and improve our defence first for several reasons. One, it was absolutely abominable. But secondly, it was one of those things where you had everyone and their mother laughing at us over our defence, and everyone thought we could be got at, and everyone thought we were soft. And I actually think that played into fans' mood around the stadium in terms of opposition fans, players. They always thought they could win the games because of how poor we were defensively. So I think it was right to do that. The issue has been, and I've been consistent on this, even though I've been quite a supporter of Arteta in many ways, is the attack is the area where you do worry about that. And as I say, some of this season, we've seen numbers drop off across the league, right? We've seen, you know, so many attackers struggle. So it has kind of made it appear worse. But it is true that Arsenal also are not as strong in that area as teams like even Liverpool or City.
Dom, why do you think the 22-23 season, when the attack was on fire, bro, let's be real, but you had Martinelli, you had Saka, you even had Odegaard. And maybe because we had Xhaka there, to be fair. I still think we ain't replaced him or even Partey at this rate with Zubimendi coming in. Why do you think that's...
Josh, you want to know something about Thomas Partey? I think I saw something on Twitter, and no one's spoken about this. I don't know if this is fake or what. Apparently, Partey has had his charges dropped.
I knew it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and now people are telling him to file for defamation.
I knew this was going to happen, by the way.
Oh,
you know what? When I said you should...
That's from one outlook. That's not from like Fabrizio Romano or anybody like that. It is from one outlet. So do it up with what you will. But no, carry on.
No, I was going to ask, why do you think why has he adjusted so... Because that season we was playing free-flying football. Is it because... I look back at the game we played Man City, right? Etihad, and we got destroyed. Yeah, we had Rob Holding centre-back. Do you think he used that game as an example to change more defensive?
No, I don't necessarily think it was that game, but I do think it was Manchester City orientated. I think Rob Holding is kind of why I said in September, October that year that City were definitely going to overtake us, because the squad just didn't have the depth for it. It was obvious we were going to fall apart. But like I said the same about Liverpool, Klopp's last season. I just didn't think they could sustain that pace. I think it was control. Pep Guardiola obviously was one of the 2 managers he kind of learnt the most under. The other was David Moyes. Both looked to control games in very different ways, and you can see that merge into who Mikel Arteta is. The real defensive grit comes from David Moyes, and I think that was really, really strong with him. but both of them look to control games in different ways. And I just think that is those two things were there. And I do think there was an element of you need some control in games where you are just keeping the ball and getting some rest in games if you are going to try and win multiple competitions, because I don't think you can play 100-mile-an-hour clock ball and win multiple competitions that he wants to do. But you can win one-off competitions, and Jurgen Klopp proved that. I think he even got a double at some point, but I could be mistaken. But I don't think you can play 100-mile-an-hour football and win the lot. And I think he wanted to win the lot, but he may well have been better off trying to get one or two over the line to take some of this pressure off, and he might win more as a result. I think it was control rather than that individual.
This is why, as a manager, you've got to have a blend of different styles. You can go blood and thunder, literally kick someone's ass 4 or 5-0, and then when you do play, say, a Man City or a Liverpool or a Man United, then you have the capability to say, okay, but going up against a tough team, let's try and be a little bit more direct. Let's actually try to hit them on counter attacks. Let's try and play a little bit more aerial balls at some point, right? And then it gets to the back end of the season where you're playing a really nice system of football. There's going to be 1 or 2 games where, like, you know what, guys, we're getting tired. We've had the last 4 games we've won 3, 4, 5-0 for like all the last time. Let's settle down. Let's like scrape like a 1, maybe a 2-0 win or something. Let's just take, you know, because we've been going fucking 100 mile an hour here. Let's just pull it back a little bit and rest up. If the fans get pissy about it, the fans get pissy about it. We're trying to prolong this. You've got to try different methods.
I think that's right. It's what I was talking about with Dalman. You know, I was using a hypothetical example of Burnley. That you know, they are those different things. And I think that is the big thing. We're seeing tweaks within the system, but they're consistent across a period of time. You know, it's why I don't like answering what your front 3 or 4 be, because I think the front 3 or 4 should be this against one team and this against another team, because you want to try and match up as best you can against them. But you are absolutely right about how you win leagues. You know, I don't. Karl, you Darkside, I don't know how old you guys are, but you might remember some of the Ferguson years where everyone remembers the blood and thunder because it's 2-2 with a minute to go and they're throwing everyone forward. But actually, they won some games real attritional. Jose Mourinho always did. I think the best teams do win that because you can't win every game 4-5-0. You know, we have to remember they happen. The problem is we've almost become too reliant on it, which is why I keep going back to this mental block thing where we're afraid to make mistakes. And I think Odegaard, for instance, as I said at the top, doesn't play that ball through to Gyökeres, not because he doesn't see him, maybe because he doesn't trust him, but also because he's worried about if he gives the ball away there, so he takes the safe option. Because he's worried about making a mistake and giving.
I would have a lot more respect for Odegaard if he just puts the ball through, and if it goes through and the striker doesn't put it in the back of the net, guess what? That's not Odegaard's fault. He just put the right pass through. We won't have a moan at him for that. We have a moan at him because when you see an opportunity like we saw over the weekend against flipping Newcastle, which was there on a plate for fucking Gyökeres, just slap it with his left foot. He goes and passes it back to Zubimendi. That's the bit that grinds my gears with him.
I agree. And it's not just that. It's a bit like Gyökeres has to find Martinelli and Saka, but at least he tried to. I'd rather you tried and failed because we don't always get everything right. I mean, I was immense tonight, obviously, on the pitch.
There was someone blaming Gyökeres for fucking Odegaard not passing the ball as well. Yeah, in that transition. So there were people blaming him. Like, how do you blame Gyökeres? He was onside. He was ready for the ball to be received. Yeah. How could it be his fault?
He's barely offside anyway. Like, have you ever seen him be offside?
No.
Because I don't think I have.
Been offside more times in this season than Gyökeres. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, for me, even with the likes of Havertz, etc., when he's had opportunities down the right-hand side, I mean, has he been any different to what Gyökeres is? I mean, we're comparing. Right, I'd understand if this was, I don't know, Julian Alvarez or I don't know, probably Erling Haaland, right? If it was Gyökeres and Haaland, for instance, like hypothetically, as our 2 strikers, and the fan base are making excuses for Haaland, for instance, or Julian Alvarez to throw shade at Gyökeres, fine, because it's Julian Alvarez and Erling Haaland, right? But this is Kai Havertz, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, as I said, if it was Julian Alvarez, if it was Erling Haaland, fair enough. But the fact we are throwing shade at Gyökeres in defence to Kai Havertz. That's my problem, because the guy over the years has cost us big time, missing chance after chance. And let's just have it right. If it's Gyökeres, then my God, if he'd done exactly what Gyökeres has done, if Havertz has done over the years, Gyökeres, then I'm telling you, I could not bear to think of the reception he would receive, honestly. And again, it's only because he wanted Sesko, and he was Berta's signing, Gyökeres, and that's the frustrating thing with it as well. He's not playing with superstars, as I mentioned earlier. He's not playing with superstars at the moment, and he still scored 18 goals. I just don't understand how you can give Havertz the same amount of time, Marino likewise, but not Gyökeres. It's just weird. But we'll move on to
Gyökeres, as I said at the start of the season, does definitely require that time. And I think you did need a more clinical striker, which is what Gyökeres is. What you do lose compared to Havertz is some of that build-up play. And as I say, I think Kai Havertz, for me, I didn't like the price tag, but I think some of the hate is overdone for him. He's the third highest goals and assist contributor since he came to the club at Arsenal. But I do think Arsenal, and I've been quite consistent on this, is they've moved him towards a squad player. That's the right thing to do. Now is the time to look to upgrade. Now, if that's Alvarez over Havertz this summer, that's absolutely the right thing to do, and try and get as much of your money back for Havertz as you can. Rather than do that, it's absolutely
at the same time, the bigger picture is that, last season he was the reason why we didn't win anything. It was that midfield experiment that, again, I'm not blaming him for.
But he didn't blame it last season, did he? It was the season before.
Okay, cool. He was on that purple patch, which I'm pretty sure a lot of us are still living off, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And look, as I say, my point here on Havertz is not to say that I want Kai Havertz leading the line, or I think he's the best thing since I've went. I just think there is some overdone narrative with him there. But the problem is, and what makes him an easy target, apart from being a former Chelsea player, is that midfield period up to November, was it, of that first season, just didn't work at all. But secondly is, and this is the biggest flaw in his game as a striker, and it is important. And look, all players miss chances, but he isn't clinical enough. He is a player that needs 3 chances to score a goal. And when you're trying to go for titles, that has to be nearer 2 than 3.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, if you're saying that he's there for his hold-up play and he can link up, etc., then why can't he play midfield? I don't get it. Why is he so bad there?
I think because we play.
And also with a striker, your main fundamental is to finish. So, what's the point?
I think his best position, I think we talked about this before, is in that second striker role. I thought it looked quite exciting for a little while. It's a very small sample size when he was up very close to Gyökeres. It's why I keep saying to Odegaard, he's got to get closer, because actually suddenly we look better. And Eza, when he's been closer to Gyökeres, we started to look a little bit better in free-flowing football. But just to be clear, I'm not saying that Havertz is a superstar or anything like that. The point I was making is that I think some of the agenda goes too far, a bit like it has, we were asking earlier about Gyökeres. It goes too far. And I think it is important to remember some of those good things. But the reasons you're saying now are exactly why Arsenal, if they get a good offer for him, you take it and you look to upgrade in this summer. It was definitely the right course of action, which has consistently been my point. It's why I was supportive of Gyökeres coming in the summer.
Yeah, would you say Gyökeres has been an upgrade on Havertz though so far this season?
I think he's been a different player. I don't know what the other two think, and I also think that Gyökeres will be significantly better next season. Because I always felt there's going to be a period of adjustment. He's got 18 goals, and I just think if you take that period of adjustment out and say he plays like he has all season, I think that's probably 23, 24, which might not sound like a lot, but that's nearly 25% more. Well, actually, 33% more, because it would be an extra 6 of 18 rather than 6 of 24.
Yeah, what were you guys saying then? Do you think Gyökeres has been an upgrade on Havertz so far this season? Just before we move on to obviously the Atletico Madrid game, because of course we've waffled on for quite a bit of time, haven't we? And unfortunately,
I think it was someone that we were crying out for a number of years now. We tried the Jesus experiment, that didn't work. We've tried the Kai Havertz experiment, that hasn't worked. So now you've got a ruthless killer up top. The only problem is, though, that he's not getting the service that he needs, and he's feeding off scraps. The fact he's managed to get 18 goals and no assists in his first season with this dog shit of a system is actually very surprising, because he's actually done fairly well for what he's got. Personally, I think I always look at it. When every player comes in, I always look at it. If you're coming in from overseas, then obviously, and okay, he played for Coventry in the Championship, okay, but it is the Championship, right? When you come back over to play in the Premier League, you're going to need time to like sort of adjust to what you're doing. The thing was, if he was playing for, let's just say, for example, he got signed up by Liverpool. Do you think he would have only 18 goals and 18 GA right now this season, or do you reckon he'll have close to nearly 30 with the way Liverpool play?
I think he'd suit Liverpool really, really well. I think I actually said he's the perfect signing for Liverpool when he signed, because he fits the system really quite well.
Yeah. So again, as I said, if the system changes next season to more Gyökeres' style, then that will be even. I feel more confident with him moving forward.
What is quite interesting, because Josh hasn't come in yet, and I'd be interested in his take on this, is that actually, and I'm doing this from memory, so this won't quite be right, but something up to sort of mid-January, Gyökeres was in the top 3 most targeted players, but he was way down in terms of the amount of times he was sort of successful in his next action, which I think kind of sums up Gyökeres, that he does sometimes struggle with that sort of, when he does get the ball, that sort of first touch sometimes if it's not right in the area. But that has really flipped since January, where he's actually significantly improved on what happens when he receives the ball, but he's been found far less by Arsenal. And I think that's really interesting, and it kind of sums up when you look at the season how that's kind of changed.
If you let's just say, for example, Wednesday night we'll play Atletico. All the hate that's been going on Gyökeres, if he freaking goes God mode, he ends up banging and say a hat trick against Atletico. Are these haters going to flip flop back and say, "Oh, what a striker he has been"? No, mate, no. You fucking cussed him out by missing the fucking long way pass, mate. Stay in your lane, bruv. This is our striker. It's not your striker. You got pissed off. You went and shush go. You know, so don't go down that road. Yeah, if he bangs in a hat, I don't expect Arsenal to bang in a hat trick on Wednesday night against Atletico anyway. But if Gyökeres did, especially
he scored a brace though, didn't he, against Atletico last time out? So
he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, like, I understand that Gyökeres came with all the hype, but Havertz came in as the highest earner, came from Chelsea. So why is Havertz not receiving the most stick? I don't get it.
Because he's the same as Odegaard. He's the same as Odegaard. It was Arteta.
It actually does look like it. Actually, now you mention it.
Yeah, again, like Havertz has scored 31 goals in 3 years. Gyökeres has scored 18 in 8 months.
Yeah, Josh was right.
Because Havertz got a bad first touch. Which, let's be honest, right? Even when Havertz, and I forgot to mention this, even when Havertz was on the pitch in that Newcastle game, we didn't really create anything apart from the goal we scored anyway, which was a basic pass to Eze from the corner. So like we didn't create. Let's not act like we created anything when Havertz was on the pitch. It's almost like, well, Gyökeres came in and our football got significantly worse. Well, no, it didn't. No, it didn't, because we were playing exactly the same way when Havertz was on the pitch anyway. But anyways, we will of course move on to the Atletico Madrid game before we wrap up. I don't know how to feel going into this one. Obviously, Atletico Madrid, I would say from what they were before, we played them and we battered them 4-0. I just think this will be totally different due to the fact it is 2 legs. We have to go to their place first. If we can get a good result at their place, then maybe we can do them at the Emirates like we did in the reverse fixture. But yeah, we'll go to Karl on this one first. Like, would you be going all guns blazing going into this one, or would you be sort of reserving ourselves and trying to play for a point? Well, not a point, but playing for a draw at least, because I think it's important that we don't lose that first leg, because it's in the only fight nowadays.
So if you play for a draw and take it back to the Emirates, I just want to give you a little flashback to what happened when Atletico Madrid went away against Barcelona and beat the living piss out of them in their own backyard. They are capable of doing that. That front four that they have presses with intensity. They will cause us problems when we try and play the ball out from the back. We have to be quick in transition in this game. I want speed. Now, I don't know if Martinelli is going to be fit for this game. I don't think he is.
Is he injured?
Did Martinelli get an injury? I didn't spot
Yeah,
that.
he's injured.
I wasn't aware.
After the Newcastle game.
I knew
picked up
Eze and
something.
Havertz. I hadn't spotted Martinelli.
Yeah, I swear, I saw that as well, Carl. I swear it came.
Everyone googling quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty Google it.
That's it. Yeah, Martinelli. AFC always just put Martinelli injured. Yeah, so that's a tad
Oh
concern.
yeah. It's just come up per lot.
So you want pace. You want pace and you want speed with this. So I hate Madueke with an absolute passion, but you can't really play Saka because he ain't got the speed anymore. So you're going to need Madueke on the right, Gyökeres up top. Who do you put on the left? Do you know what? I'd throw Eze in. I'd throw Eze left wing. I mean, you need to try, but you've got to try and do something a little more different. You really do. But regarding Atletico, you're looking at Griezmann. You're looking at Simeone, who is just a track guy. He's got unbelievable pace. So whoever's on the left back, which is I'm probably gonna say Calafiori on this one.
Oh, would you?
I wouldn't.
And did you not see Hincapié get absolutely skinned alive by Semenyo in the cup final?
Yeah, true.
There is that.
Yeah, he was on a yellow card, which wasn't a booking, so that hindered his game big time.
We'll see about that, but Simeone's going to have a problem. And then you're looking at who they can bring off the bench. Sorloth. He's got height and his set, and he can get up for set pieces. It's an aerial threat, so that will be a problem to deal with as well. Arsenal have got to, I'll say this: the first 15-20 minutes of that game is going to be very, very cagey. Both teams are going to try and work out what it is they're going to try to do, and so on. So. The problem is though that stadium, the Metropolitano is going to be a nasty place to go. Not just the shitty pitch conditions, because there've been issues with that all season. Right, I'll throw it in right now. But that stadium gets bloody loud.
Their record's insane as well. Knockouts. Yeah,
it's incredible. However, Arsenal do have a good record against Spanish teams in knockouts as well. That falls in our favour a little bit. Defensively, you're looking at Gabriel Saliba, and I'm probably going to say, could Timber come back? I feel like
I don't think he'll be available. Even if he is fit, I don't think it's worth risking him.
It's a huge risk, isn't it? You throw him in cold after so long, isn't it?
I would rather honestly keep him out until like the final game. If we do make the Champions League final, I won't play him again until the final game against Palace. Get him some minutes and then get him ready for the Champions League final. That's how I would run with Timber.
If we do make it to the cup final.
Knock on wood. This is a big if. I think Barrios for Atletico, I think is injured. I think he's out for this game.
He is.
Which is a bit, and the second leg.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Let's always be cautious with what managers say and that sort of thing. But apparently, yes, he is.
Diego Simeone doesn't fucking sugarcoat it. He'll just say he's injured, yes or no. He won't go through. He won't go round the houses or go through Spaghetti Junction like our fucking manager does. He just admits it. He goes, "Is he available for this game?" No. Next question.
It's refreshing. I think he's one of the few managers in the world that does that.
Yeah.
Off that now, please.
Yeah. So it's going to be all about pace. It's going to be about pace. It's going to be all about transition. Someone has said that Havertz should start up top instead of Gyökeres. I don't see how, especially if you're going to give Atletico Madrid the ball. If you're going to give Atletico the ball, then you've got to play. Then you have to play Gyökeres up top, because then the thing is though, Arsenal could just bide their time, because they do. Atletico do bring numbers when they attack. They bring a lot of numbers, and they can leave themselves open at the back a little bit. Same way that Barcelona can, okay? But it's at Barcelona, when they attack, they actually finish off their shots. Atletico, they do sit back a little bit. It's got to all depend how they set up shop. I'm going to go with the basis that Arsenal are tiring. I would say the best thing for us would be a draw, just to take it back to the Emirates, and hopefully we can win there. We don't necessarily need to win at the Emirates either. We can take it to a draw, go to penalties, but I don't think. But us as English fans, we've got PTSD every time there's a fucking penalty shootout, so no thanks. But I think it's going to be something similar along the lines of, and I'll say it perfectly right now. People say how much we've beaten Atletico already this season. Completely different side now with Lookman in. With Lookman in, it's a completely different side. Now, will Lookman be able to attack our back four? We'll have to see and find out, because this is a stubborn defence that he's going up against. I think he's going up against a defence like this all season. So we'll have to see.
He might be out though for the first leg.
Lookman.
Yeah.
They're saying, but they're saying he'd be on the bench at least though. So even if it's on the bench, he will come on and cause problems.
And he's coming on against a tired defence if that does happen.
Yeah. I think you're going to see Saka come off the bench as well in this game, probably only for like maybe 15, 20 minutes or so. Nothing drastic. I'm surprised he even played against Newcastle, to be honest with you, with this Achilles issue. But yeah, what do I know? What do I know? The manager wants to continue to flock the players and drag them when they're still saying, I need all my players. That means he basically means I will bring everyone back. I will bring everyone back who, even if you're still injured, as long as you're seeing and breathing, you're playing.
Am I starting on Wednesday? Because I was just about breathing when I turned up tonight.
Don, what about you, bro?
I mean, I think Karl's right. I think it's going to be... Atletico aren't as defensively dominant as they were a few years ago, and I think people sort of still think they're that side. I think they are slightly different, and they showed that against Barcelona. I mean, obviously, I don't think Arsenal are going to play with anyone. Although Arsenal have the highest defensive line in the Premier League this season, they're not going to play with as high a line, and they're going to sit that bit deeper. They're going to be very defensively resilient. That is going to be the game plan. And then, in fairness, that's generally speaking how two-legged cup ties are sort of won, is that you don't lose away and then you try and win it at home. I'm obviously being very sort of generalistic about that. There are, of course, exceptions to that. But I think that is how we will look to go and do it. I think Martinelli being out is a big blow. And I have a horrible feeling I talked about him in tomorrow's video, but I can't remember what I said now. But there you go. It's recorded before I knew that news. But yeah, I think that's right. I think even if Havertz is fit, and I don't think he's going to be, I think Eza will be, but I don't think Havertz will be. Then I think, again, agree with Karl. Gyökeres has to start for me for this one, because Atletico do press really, really effectively. And we saw how teams that do press really well can cause us problems when we try and play out from the back. I think we've got to go direct much quicker. And that's it. While Havertz does hold the play up well and bring others in, we sort of, saw that Brighton away in particular, how we did that effectively. I think this is one where you're looking to get in the channels really fast, really quick. Zubimendi, one touch and then ping, those balls into that left channel, I think would be one of the key weapons I'd be looking to use tomorrow night. I mean, the front three's going to have to be, I think it's got to be Eza over Trossard. I really like Eza at the moment, and I think Eza is that's going to be his position going forward, is on cutting in off that left side, more similar to Palace. Gyökeres up top, it'll be Odegaard in the 10, and then I think I was going to start Martinelli, on the right, because I don't think Saka will start or should start this one tomorrow, because he's only just come back from that Achilles. But with no Martinelli,
I don't think Martinelli will be fit,
Well, exactly. Well, no, but that's what I was saying. That's why it's going to have to be Madueke. I don't think this is a game where I would start Downman, because I think you're going to need some of that defensive resilience to try and get that result. And then I think the back four, I think Mosquera will play right back. I wouldn't be shocked to see Hincapié, but I can understand the reasoning behind Karl and Calafiori. But I think it'll be Hincapié, especially after the way he played against Newcastle.
What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I'm not confident at all, if I'm being real with it, especially in this first leg. Maybe Emirates could be a different story. It depends about the result, really, whatever will happen on Wednesday. But I mean, I was speaking to Atleti. I did a few videos at Atleti fans today, and they're feeling so confident against us. So I mean, I can't blame them, to be honest, the way we've been playing. And both teams are definitely a lot different to the game in October. And I'm not really using that game as a sample to judge what's going to happen.
Very different circumstances too, Josh, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, we went through this last season. I ain't taking anything away that we topped the league phase and we were ruthless throughout the 8 games. That's great. But I remember, we played PSG last year and we battered them 2-0 because it should have been more than that. We dominated them in that game. It could have been 3-4. And really mad in the semi-finals when it's knockout football. It's when the pressure's really on. We crumbled over the 2 legs against them. Yeah, PSG had Kvaratskhelia and Dembele and Doué and quality after quality after quality. But you've got players like that. Well, they have quality there, basically. So I spoke about their record earlier. Like they lost to Barcelona. From I think it was 3-2, right? Obviously, they still go through overall, which don't even matter, which is the bigger picture, right? But that was their first knockout defeat in 15 years or something at the Metropolitan.
At home,
it's a fortress there as well. So it's a really, really difficult ground to go to. So I think that could play a factor. I do think it's a pressure on them though to get a result in this first leg than it is for us personally. I feel like they're going to have to approach it in a way where they're going to have to go for it. I think maybe Simeone will learn from his lesson from the 4-0 game, because, of course, even in that game, looking back on it, the first half, it was quite even from both teams. Yeah. A bit like the Villa game as well at home, 0-0 at half-time, quite even. We were thinking, go in it, but then we just had a 15-minute spell where we went God mode, 1, 2, 3, 4 goals. And, we did it against Villa. We did it of course, against them. We did it last year against Real Madrid when we just scored them 3 goals so quick. But that was back in December, and I don't think how we've been playing recently. Do we have that in us to do that again? I don't think we do. How we've been playing recently. So, yeah, I mean, it's so tough to predict this one, man. I think, as Dom said, and I agree with Karl, we have to go. For me, you got to go and just, go for it. Be energetic in how we play, and pace as well. But it's Arteta, isn't it? I see him. It's an away ground. It's a semi-final first leg. We know how he's going to set up, man. It's going to be the same old, really. And whether or not it works, cool. I mean, if we get a draw, I don't think it'd be the worst result in the world. But as Karl rightly pointed out, they went to Barcelona and they absolutely smashed them. They absolutely destroyed them at their home place as well. So, and this thing, Atleti, this is all they've got left. This is what Simeone, he's literally resting all his players in La Liga. He's playing youth players in La Liga. He's rotating his team completely just to put all these eggs in one basket for the Champions League. Let's not forget, he's got his team to 2 Champions League finals. He's been so close. He got so hard done by against Real Madrid. So he's going to, and there's been a lot of talk of him maybe leaving as well. So he's going to want to end on a high maybe and go all in for this Champions League. So yeah, they're putting all the eggs in this basket, man. So that kind of concerns me a little bit. But yeah, in terms of the team, I have to agree with majority of what you guys said. I think it'd be Raya. Timber, I wouldn't play Timber anyway. I don't know. I'd probably put Mosquera right back, to be fair. I ain't being too convinced of Ben White, if I'm being real with it. Gabriel Saliba, 2 centre-backs, and Cape, left back. Rice would be... it's going to have to be Odegaard. I think he starts Saka. I know you guys say you want to play him, but I think
I'm not shocked if he does, by the way.
I think he starts him. He brought him off against Newcastle. I think he's back now. He will start Saka.
He ain't ready to play for a fucking full hour.
Yeah.
He ain't ready to play for it. He only really plays for full hour if he comes on the second half. And, well, we won't go to extra time. Not in this leg, but maybe in the second leg.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think he should start Saka. Bring him on for the second half for like 20 minutes because he needs the running. But I'm not rushing him back immediately just like that.
I wouldn't start him. But then who else you got? You got to play Noni Madueke there. And it's like...
And I think he's really struggling with that knee still. He is really struggling.
Or the manager just goes a set of bollocks and plays Max Dowman.
Yeah.
Give Diego Simeone something about go. Oh, who's this 16-year-old guy?
Exactly.
Oh, fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the atmosphere though.
I don't
We're
think
away
that
from-
will bother him. I don't think
No.
that will bother him. The reason he won't select out to Nauman, and in some ways it's very understandable, is because Simeone, we know that Atletico have got the attacking ability, and he will not want to go there and be out of the second leg before we even go there. And Dauman is absolutely outstanding going forward, complete live wire, but obviously, and it's understandable, he's 16-year-old kid, doesn't have that defensive side, and that Arteta will not play him or start him in the game for that reason.
He's not been bringing him off the bench, has he, recently?
No.
Yeah, that's strange. I don't know what's
that's
going on.
why. But that's why I can understand why he doesn't do that. But it won't be the atmosphere that does him. It will be that defensive side why Downman won't start.
Well, that's not his job.
No. But Arteta, the way he plays, he will want that defensive output, and he will want that covered off, particularly with the threat that Atletico have, even with a couple of players out down the wings, and that's why he won't start him. Particularly if you've got Mosquera at right back, who's obviously not a right back, does a really good job there, to be fair, but he's obviously a centre half. He'll want that extra bit of coverage.
Score predictions, guys. I know, like, we hate score predictions, but this game, like, we just have to, innit? Just, I don't even know what to predict as well. To be fair, going into this one, probably 1-1.
2-1 Madrid.
Oh, two.
I think this is Arsenal's first defeat in the Champions League this season.
Josh, what are you going for, bro?
1-0 Madrid.
Karl?
I'm going to be the positive bastard in this. Give me 1-1.
I will take
1-1 as well.
Clip that. I fucking dare you.
Anyways, guys, we are going to wrap up because we've been going on for 2 hours and a minute, actually. Didn't expect it to go this far, really. We've got 2-1 Arsenal in the chat, I mean, that would be a fantastic result, 2-1.
That'd be a brilliant result, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant result. But we'll go around the panel, obviously. Karl, anything coming up this week? I know you haven't uploaded lately, but
I've taken a bit of time. Off seeing family and that.
Yeah.
But I'll be back tomorrow doing my Killing the Delusion show for like an hour and a half or so. So I'll be going through the top Gooners, freaking ciphering through the time vortex to see what shit I can come up with, and it will be a good one. Let's put it that way. Wednesday, I'll have the Smoke and Mirrors show regarding of the press conference and obviously a match reaction afterwards to the Atletico game. And then Thursday, break it all down. And then I'm away again over the weekend because I'm off for festival. So when we're doing a match reaction for the fun game. So yeah,
where are you off to, Karl?
Teddy Rocks.
Oh, nice. Enjoy.
Yeah. And you'll find me on Ruthless Gooner at YouTube and Ruthless Gooner 35 on Instagram. So yeah.
Yeah, obviously handle will be in the description as always. Dom, any shorts upcoming tomorrow?
Yeah,
or?
Blue. Match the kit. It's been a while since I did a dad joke. Is that not what you meant, Rory?
You threw an easy pitch there, Rory.
It shows you what looking like on that show.
Oh,
Well,
but
you as well, really.
Well, I mean, I literally messaged you before, when I saw you. It's literally the first thing I did. I saw you. I was like, "You're right there, Gal Night Show." I think you told me to fuck right off. But I've got a short out tomorrow, which I can't remember what it's on, but I'm sure it'll be all right. Oh yes, it was on the front three of why we can't see Martinelli, Madueke, and Gyökeres, which was ill-timed because I didn't realise Martinelli was injured. But there you go. It's done and uploaded, and it's 11:15 at night, and I'm not doing another one because I'm on an early train tomorrow. So that'll be out. There'll be something on preview on Wednesday, match reaction, and the shorts most days. They're not all day.
Josh, you doing a watch-along this week?
Yeah, we'll be there, bro. If you're around, let me know.
Yeah. Is Tony going to be around?
Yeah, he's back from his holiday, mate. So yeah,
great. So we're gonna win then, aren't we?
Bloody hope so. Yeah,
no trouble whatsoever. Although to be fair, there's that thought of we'll actually win, but then again, me and him will go back and forth if it's another watch along. So it's just one step forward and two steps back.
I mean,
But yeah,
if he is the good luck charm and we win, that is a right result. He can come and watch every game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, every single Premier League game. Like, you should probably get him on for the Premier League watch-alongs as well, to be fair.
Yeah, big up to him.
But yeah, in terms of what's coming up on this channel, we'll be covering, of course, the Atletico Madrid game, which I, of course, didn't do at the weekend against Newcastle. I do apologise for that. Apart from that, I'll be covering the Fulham game as well, and we'll be back next Monday. So on that bombshell, guys, I do appreciate everyone who has locked in throughout the whole stream. Be going on, as I said, for 2 hours. So appreciate the panel, appreciate, of course, everyone in the chat as well, and appreciate everyone who has, ran the lights up as well. But yeah, on that bombshell, we'll catch you next Monday, as always. In a bit, guys. Come on, you guys.
Cheers, fellas.